What the Flux is brought to you by DeLoreanRental.com. If you're looking to rent a DeLorean time machine, DeLorean Rental has you covered. They have time machines all across the United States, the UK, Germany, France, Italy, and adding more cars daily. Check out all of their packages to see what would best fit your event at DeLoreanRental.com or call 708-292-0236.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
All your questions will be answered. Roll tape.
Live from the former Institute of Future Technology in Orlando, Florida, you're listening to What the Flux with her host, Anthony Furtado, Brooke Bromery, Caitlin Larkin, and Eugene Schnee.
Hello and welcome back to What the Flux. We have another episode lined up. Unfortunately, this week we don't have a guest, but I think we're going to have a fun time anyway. As always, I'm here with Eugen and Caitlin. How are you guys today?
Oh, I am. I'm not gonna lie. So I think we should be honest with our audience.
Uh-oh. Well, wait, hold on. What did you do?
I fucked up.
She fucked up, folks. She did bad.
I did bad. So we recorded this entire episode yesterday.
Talk about it like an hour's worth of comedy.
Yes, a whole hour. It was hilarious, and
it was a lot of playing off each other. It was
fun.
It was amazing. It was one of those moments where everything just worked perfect. Like the stars were, the planets, everything was lined up.
Yeah.
Everything was amazing.
And then a meteor named Caitlin came in and...
meteor came Caitlin and
I have no idea,
up.
guys. I really honestly have no idea how this happened. But I came home. I went to go send the files to Eric so he could mix them and master them. And I guess there were too many files going on at the same time that I didn't realize, which I don't know how it allowed us to record yesterday if there were multiple files open, because it would have fucked up then.
That's how good the show was.
That's how good the show was, I know. And now it's gone, and we have to redo it all over again. But
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, folks, that's what happens when you do a really crappy show and your own computer takes, like, no, this sucks.
It gives us a good memory. That's there was a lot of laughs.
Yeah, that's. I think that's how the Terminator started, actually. Sarah Connor was doing a podcast in the 80s, by the way, and the computer just said, "Fuck this shit, I'm done with you."
Skynet is coming after us.
Mm-hmm. If it happened in the movie, it's gotta be true.
It has to be true.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you one word.
Yes.
Outbreak.
Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, folks? Again.
So today we are going to do our top 5 all-time favorite Back to the Future quotes.
What? We're doing quotes?
Yes.
Yep.
And the best part is that we asked you guys out on the interwebs what your favorite Back to the Future quotes were, and we were gonna, shout some of them out.
It's probably your fault that the episode got screwed. There was so much comments and stories coming in. You guys probably just broke it.
Yeah, it's not my fault. You did it.
It's your fault.
Man, we've been getting such a good fan reaction.
Yeah.
I know.
How do you guys feel about that?
I feel so blessed.
I honestly didn't expect it. I thought this was going to be something where we come in and just chat with friends. It was an excuse to get out of the house once a week, hang out with you guys, and then all of a sudden we got Jeffrey Wiseman, we got Janet, I was like, what the hell's going on? We're taking off.
Word has spread in the Back to the Future universe, and I'm very, very thankful for it.
You know what that means, right?
What's that?
We're gods. Yes.
Oy
Oh yeah, that's just how it is. Everybody has to worship us.
God, you're so
You're
fucking humble.
you're gonna make all the religious types hate
that's
us.
the same thing the judge told me. You're so fucking humble. I know.
It's insane. I honestly don't know how you do it. You don't toot your own horn at all. I've never heard you do it.
It's my best quality.
All right,
That's why your eyes are so brown, because you're full of shit.
Oh my God.
So before we get into these quotes, we have, as always, we got the news.
We had the
we got news this week, yeah?
We got news this week.
Oh,
And
shit.
do we still have our jingle?
We
What?
still have our little news bed.
You know what? I actually have to admit.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
I know. No.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of pissed off at you guys because I actually enjoy my and the only 2 fans out there that commented, thank you very much. My mom and dad. I was kind of pissed off, and then when I heard the episode, I was like, shit, that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And another shout out to Chris, who was kind enough to do that for us.
Yeah, Chris.
Our first Back to the Future best friend.
I'm going to give Chris a denso. My man.
Yeah, no, it's cool because, he works in broadcasting, and so I had ideas of what I wanted, and I told him about it, and he made it happen. So Chris is freaking awesome for doing that.
How about an applause for Chris? That's it.
Oh, just one?
Just one.
Just, all right.
Yeah, he made one jingle, he gets one applaud.
Times are tough. One applause for Chris. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Perfect. All right, so, let's go right into that. So, Eugene, you want to help me out with the countdown?
Let's do it.
All right, we got Caitlin with Back to the Future News in
3, 2, 1.
Hey, Dr. Stay. This is tomorrow's newspaper.
Could I go to the library and look myself up in the old newspaper archive?
All right, thank you guys. Yes, Back to the Future News this week, May 1st.
Huh?
Hopefully we'll get the episode out so that this is relevant.
What's tomorrow?
Wait,
Tomorrow is May 1st.
holy shit.
So you know what that means?
What?
It's gonna be me.
Oh, gee, why do I always ask? I know it's coming, and I just still.
You're talking to a huge NSYNC fan right here.
Can we talk about the fact that yesterday was January? I feel like this year has just.
I feel like April had 90 days.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's how March was for me, honestly. March was the longest one, it felt
Really?
like. Yeah.
I worked during March, so I think it was pretty normal for me, but all of April was just kind of torture.
Yeah.
Well, it's shit happens, but you know what's happened that's really good?
Huh.
This podcast.
Yeah, that's right. This podcast happened.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Give me the news, girl.
All right, so tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, Netflix will finally have Back to the Futures 1 and 2 available for streaming.
It's about damn time.
For real, I don't know why out of all 3 films, they decided to put Back to the Future 3 on there first.
You're not going to say it, I'll say it. Back to the Future 3 is probably no one's favorite.
I mean, there are people out there that claim it's their favorite.
Well,
I don't know if it's true.
I apologize
That's
to
fine.
our audience.
No.
Anthony's clearly under the influence.
No. Because
No.
you're right.
He's right.
Some people do enjoy number 3, and we all make mistakes, and that's fine.
Oh.
I mean, I'm one of unpopular opinions. I like Back to the Future 2 the best, and I know a lot of people don't because they feel like it's all over the place, or it's basically taking the best parts of the first film and trying to play off it. But I also think Grease 2 is better than Grease 1.
I love Grease too.
You guys were talking about that. Yes, the first time we talked about it, I actually have a confession to make.
What?
I've never seen Grease 2.
You've never seen Grease 2?
I've never seen Grease 2.
Dude,
This
I
goes
have it
back-
on DVD.
Yeah, this
I
goes
will
back to
bring it
everyone
to
makes
you.
mistakes. It's okay.
I'm like,
It's
you
one
guys
of
were
those-
talking about it. I was
He's like, wait, there's a Grease 2?
no, I remember there's with Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, she was a
Oh,
fucking
Stephanie Zanoni.
fox.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I've never seen that. I was like, oh.
She looked
And you
fantastic.
said the music was better?
I wouldn't say better.
No,
it's
it's-
funnier.
It's one of those movies. It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, it's like Napoleon Dynamite.
It's so bad, it's incredible.
But I feel like I
But
could
I
put
love
that
it.
one on more than I would put on Grease.
Really?
Yeah.
It's more of a cult classic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We'll give it a try.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I also,
like Back to the
you
Future
know.
3. I think it's
I like Back to the
I
Future
like
3.
it. It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite.
Mine is 2, 1, 3. That's my ranking.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we got problems. Okay.
But when I was a little kid, Back to the Future 2 was my all-time favorite. And I think the more I understood the humor,
I just love-
1 became my favorite.
I love the camera work on it. Like all the different Martys all over the damn place.
Sure.
Like it
Of
was
course.
so impressive for its time. And I just, going back and like reliving the first movie when, he's spying on Biff heading to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. I'm like, holy shit, like this is behind the scenes of the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, you know?
Right.
So it's just going off a whole other
No, I love that.
tangent. So
I guess because I like country. I like Western movies.
Yeah.
That's why I like a lot.
I never got into Westerns, and that's
Really?
probably
Yeah,
why.
same.
Yeah.
You ever seen Tombstone?
Nope.
I know Tombstone, but I've never
Doc
seen it.
Holliday. He's the shit. Anybody out there who's seen Tombstone, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll probably be on Netflix because I got nothing else to do. I finished Outer Banks, which was fantastic. So I'll probably put on Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 and just sit there and binge, even though I have, 5 different trilogy sets?
It's funny because I have the digital downloads because it came with the 30th anniversary. Yeah. I have the digital downloads. But I'll probably just
Do we have
put it
a
on
date
Netflix.
on when the 35th anniversary 4K set comes out? Because that's the next
I don't
one.
know. It's probably going to come out on July 3rd.
Yeah.
That's what I assume.
Around it only says summer, so July is probably the best to assume.
Speaking of July 3rd, I'm actually kind of happy that we got to redo this because yesterday Funko officially announced the Back to the Future Funko Pops for the 35th anniversary. And
but those released on July 1st.
No, they're released on July 3rd.
No, pre-order released July 1st on Amazon.
I ordered them on Amazon. It says July 3rd. No. Hold on now. I got to go look at my phone.
Folks, we got ourselves a classic cockfight right here.
Arriving Friday, July 3rd. See, on my phone.
This item will be released on July 1st, 2020.
What the hell?
Here the computer said, fuck you.
So yours might be arriving to you, but they released that day.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at my receipt. So it says that...
She got the shitty shipping.
No, I didn't. I got Prime. Yeah, were you able to get the Marty from Back to the Future 2 with the cap?
I haven't put in my order yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Because it said it was unavailable for me yesterday.
The one from Walmart?
No, not the one from Walmart. The one where, where he's dressed up as Marty Jr. and he has the cap on. I was able to pre-order all of them except for that one.
Oh, really?
As you say that, my cart went from 9 to 8.
Yep.
So yeah, it's no longer there.
But the thing is, you can order it on backtothefuture.com, but...
Did it become an exclusive then?
No.
To them, or?
Okay.
Huh.
I love Stephen Clark. This probably has nothing to do with him. This probably has to do with, the people at Funko. But to get one pop with shipping, it's almost $20.
Yeah. But it's Back to the Future.
I know. So I'm wondering if I'm going to just pre-order that one pop from backtothefuture.com since I have all the other ones now from Amazon.
I would probably do that, and I'll probably do the same thing. Because you got to figure, too, the 35th anniversary 4K set's going to probably be anywhere between $40 and $60.
Yeah.
Because you got all 3 movies, whatever extras they're going to put on there.
I hope that there are different extras on this set. I hope we finally get the Eric Stoltz stuff.
Oh, my God. I watched the Back in Time documentary again, and just every time Bob Gale's like, oh, it will be released. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when. And
so,
it's actually...
This is a pretty good fucking time, Bob!
It's actually very interesting to see how... If he was funny. Because, a lot of people say that because a lot of people say that,
That's all they ever talk about is that the humor just didn't fit.
Yeah, because a lot of it... But I'm just curious to see it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? To see, because the
I
same
think it's going to be like a mindfuck. I'm going to be like, this is not right.
No.
What is this? You're going to feel like you're in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah. But I want to see it, totally edited up, I want to see it, as much footage as they got with him, in order. And they got 6 weeks worth of shooting.
Isn't there a rumor that supposedly there's still footage of him in the movies?
Yes, that is actually true in the scene where Marty punches Biff right before the skateboard chase.
Yeah.
That in the first film?
In the first film, that it's still Eric Stoltz. They use some of that footage. That they use some of that Eric Stoltz footage for the skateboard chase.
Don't feel bad for Eric, folks. Skateboarder. He got paid. He got paid good. So,
yeah, I mean,
he
got paid good. He
was
did
the
his
lead
work
on the film for 6 weeks. So
yeah.
So what other news we got?
Other news that we have is that Mr. Bob Gale did an interview with the Hollywood Reporter this week. Mm-hmm. And it's actually funny because he's debunking one of these,
debunking my ass.
I know. He's debunking one of these, Back to the Future little theories about why doesn't Mom and Dad remember Marty?
Why is that?
Well, Bob Gale's explanation, and I quote, "Bear in mind that George and Lorraine only knew Marty / Calvin for 8 days when they were 17. And they did not even see him every one of those 8 days. So many years later, they still might remember that interesting kid who got them together on their first date. But I would ask anyone to think back on their own high school days and ask themselves how well they remember a kid who might have been at their school for even a semester, or someone you went out with just one time. If you had no photo reference after 25 years, you'd probably have a hazy recollection.
Nope.
So Lorraine and George might think it funny that they once actually met someone named Calvin Klein, and even if they thought their son at age 16 or 17 had some resemblance to him, it wouldn't be a big deal. I bet most of us could look through our high school yearbooks and find photos of our teenage classmates that bear some resemblance to our children. Yeah, if you sleep with them.
Ooh!
Yeah, like, we kind of touched on this a little bit because me and Caitlin kind of feel the same way about this. I'm sorry, but, like, it's kind of why does our kid look like the milkman kind of situation, you know?
I think Bob Gale is just sick of people asking him all of these questions, so he's like, fine, I'll give you a bullshit answer.
Exactly, and it is a bullshit answer because...
It really is.
You're right. I'll give him that. I was in high school 10 years ago, and there's some people that I met for a week or two that were even in one of my classes for the whole year that I just don't remember their face, or I had a hazy recollection, couldn't tell you their name. But if someone had that much of an impact on my life to where they introduced me to my wife, they were the reason I had a kid, they were the reason I overcame my bully, I'm going to remember them forever.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't go away.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
But you both are forgetting one very important thing.
What's that, Eugene? Tell me.
It's Bob fucking Gale. He can do and say whatever the hell he wants.
That's true. I mean, to get this bullshit answer after 35 years.
Like
How
I
long
said,
did it take you to come up with that?
He just doesn't want people asking him stupid questions anymore because it is just a movie. And yes, there are a lot of fans out there that go into these deep, hunts and
there
stuff.
are
and
conspiracy theorists
and stuff like that. And
I know people.
Forget the lizard people. We got the Back to the Future people.
I'm all for stuff like that. But I know that, it's just for fun. Like, I don't take it too seriously. Yeah. But come on.
Guys, I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to share this with all of our amazing listeners. This story is brought to you by Eugene Stories. Eugene Stories, because once you heard them, you have to hear them all again.
That's actually really good.
One time, actually, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
One time I was playing dominoes. Yes, it was dominoes with... This is the funniest thing. It was playing
Down by the
dominoes.
soda fountain.
Yeah! We were playing dominoes. It was actually me and 3 other buddies. But here's the thing where it gets really interesting. A Star Trek geek, a Star Wars geek, and a Back to the Future geek. All together there. And I did this horrible mistake of saying, we're talking about our movie, what we're playing, when you're playing dominoes, I don't know if you guys ever play dominoes.
Not on purpose.
It gets a little aggressive. You can get a little aggressive. Trash talk at its finest, all in good fun. And of course, I tell the Back to the Future guy, you gotta be like the conspiracy, whatever. Because he was like, because some things in Star Wars don't make sense, which is true. Luke and Leia kissing.
Yeah. Because, George Lucas never really planned on writing all them movies. No. Let me tell you that right now.
They made those first ones that are like, you know what? This is the cash cow. Let's keep going.
He claimed he wrote all 3 movies in one sitting. I call bullshit.
No, you want to know what's bullshit? The Star Wars Holiday Special. That's bullshit.
It's funny, though.
Even George Lucas denies they're doing that. Oh, that wasn't me. It's like, your name is there, dude. Like, no, that's somebody else.
I could see him writing all of them. Because when I come up with a story, there's a beginning to an end, and, who knows? What he wrote, he could have split up into those 3 movies.
Who knows? But all I know is that we ended up in discussing, and then the Star Trek guy with his conspiracies, and it got so funny because I was just enjoying this show. It was amazing, and they got heated. They were like, no, because you don't get it. Back to the Future makes total sense. And the Star Wars fan and the Star Trek fan were all arguing like it was bad. And I'm just like... Will somebody just fucking hurry up and play a damn domino?
Who won the dominoes game?
Nobody.
So you weren't the Back to the Future geek in this scenario?
No, I was the ultimate geek. Well, I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I love Star Wars and Back to the Future.
Eugene was sitting in the back eating pork rinds watching.
Gotcha.
I was just listening to this because here's the thing. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Wait.
They're movies.
Yeah.
So
You shut your whore mouth.
First of all, I am not a whore.
Not anymore, anyway.
Not anymore. But anyway,
We've all grown.
but it was interesting because to me, like, I mean, every movie will always have flaws. Every movie. Anybody who tells me there's a perfect movie, whatever, yeah, there could be some movies that are
There's some that get close.
Close. But
And Back to the Future is one of them.
Yes, it is. But every movie, everything has its flaws and everything. And yes, there are plot holes, and yes, blah, blah, blah. But I just go to the movies and enjoy it for what it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And some people, like, they take it really freaking serious. Like, and I love my friends and everything to death, but you know you have a problem when you go to meet Mark Hamill and you call him by Luke Skywalker. Or you meet Michael J. Fox, and you go, like, oh my God, it's Marty. And he's like, uh-huh. So it's like, I understand there's a fandom and people are big fans of that stuff, and it means because that's how much the movies mean to them. But at the same time, it's like, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
And I
love how he's like, it's just a movie and we're doing a whole podcast about them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to your credit, you're right. Like, there's a lot of people who just attribute, the character that they play to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, like, if I'm being downright honest, Back to the Future is probably the first trilogy where I probably took the time to learn the actors behind it. Like, any other movie, I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so, and I'm just naming the character they play in that film. But this is the first time where I'm like, okay, Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson, Christopher Lloyd, and I can give you everyone's name that took place in that. It's probably the first film where I was like, all right, I need to know this shit because this is good shit. And that's the logic of Anthony Furtado.
Now more you know.
You need to know shit because it's good shit.
That's right.
I love it.
What else we got in the news?
I think that's it.
Oh, sweet. Well, let's get into these quotes. You guys got yours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm about to light your shit up.
Oh.
Yeah. But I kind of went off the beaten path. Like, everyone knows, hey, you get your damn hands off her. And, everyone has those quotes. But I'm telling you right now, mine are going to be ones that have impacted you and you didn't even
I'd like to say that the majority of mine are a little bit off the beaten path as well. They're actually quotes that not only do I enjoy them while watching the film, but these are actually things that I will say on the regular in just random conversations.
Yep. I have a few of those. I didn't pick them, but like I'll walk around and say, "Oh, this is heavy," or
stuff like that.
Anthony, heavy, just stuff like that. But how do we want to do this? Because we have 5 each.
Yes.
So do you want to just round robin it? Okay.
I think we should just each do our 5, and then 4, then 3, then 2, and
perfect.
1, and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
let's
get this. Number 5.
Número 5.
5. Go ahead.
All right, my number 5 is something that I actually do say quite often. Weight has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
No, okay, so, come on. I think that one, okay, so a lot of people.
When do you say that?
A lot of people do, like, that's that word again, heavy. What, is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Yeah.
Like, everyone says that one. I like, weight has nothing to do with it. So anytime that I've ever moved and I label a box heavy, I will go take a Sharpie and in small letters write ... weight has nothing to do with it. It's something I do on the regular. You can ask my wife.
That's cute. That's cute.
So it's absolutely one of my favorites. It cracks me up every time.
To me, even though I'm probably one of the most more known lines in the movie, but it's the one where it says, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Well, that makes sense because you told us that story like in our first episode about how much that scene and how it brought you and your brother together. So
yeah, it definitely has a bit of the nostalgia, but also it's such a great line. Like, it's such a cool line. Like, for something you don't know what to expect. And if I may say this, do you guys watch Stranger Things?
Yeah.
For all of the people listening, if you really want to know the effect that movie had, if you saw it in the 80s, of course you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't and you want to really feel that, in Stranger Things season 3, when, correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin?
Yeah, it's Dustin.
And who was the other character? I forgot. They were in the movie. Lucas' sister.
Yes.
They were in the movie, and they were watching Back to the Future, and they played a part with the roads. We're gonna need roads, and the car's gonna fly. And you see the audience reaction to me. And I was like, because I remember that. I also remember getting getting grounded. It's like, but it's such a cool line, and it just means a lot. So yeah, Mr. Anthony.
I think mine, it's basically an interaction between George and Marty in 1955 when George is doing the laundry in the backyard and like Marty's trying to hype him up and shit. And George's like, you really think I gotta swear? And Marty hits him back with, yes, God damn it, George, swear. I love how irritated and just quick to it he was.
Yeah.
And so like when I put together my list of 5, I didn't necessarily go for ones that I would say mean the most to me. It's ones that if I'm watching it with someone new, you don't want to quote everything like we all can, but these are lines that I have to say.
Yeah.
And so, yes, God damn it, George, swear is like one of the ones that I just, when it comes on, I have to say it. So that's my 5. And here we go to number 4.
Number 4.
All
right, number 4 is the only time on this list of mine where you will see a quote from one of the sequels, and it's, "Shark still looks fake." I'm sorry, it's just hilarious, especially, with the reaction of Marty and how scared he legit was at the hologram. So I don't know, I just think it's perfect. And of course, all of the Spielberg references and Max Spielberg, who's actually, Steven's son, and this time it's really, really personal. I love that.
I just love the fact that you actually have a Jaws t-shirt.
I do. I have a Jaws t-shirt, and I wore it when we met the cast at MegaCon last year, and the only person to say anything about my shirt was James Tolkien's handler.
What he said?
It was a girl, and she was just like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt." And I was like, nobody else said anything. And I was the only person that I saw anyway that was wearing a Jaws 19 shirt. And that's what I was going for. I wanted to be different, so I love that.
If anyone was at MegaCon and a girl with a Jaws 19 shirt pissed you off, now you know who she was.
I was with you guys all day, so.
To me, one of my favorite characters, you can probably tell because of the quotes that I'm going with, is Doc Brown. I know a lot of people go like, "Oh, Marty," or even Biff. To me, my favorite character was always Doc Brown because he was that kind of kooky mad scientist that... Was he the first one? No. There have been movies before with other mad scientists before, but he brought this element of like he was such a cool like he was just cool. Like he was just kind of funny about it, but at the same time he was he was just one of those type of guys that you could just have a beer with him. It's like, see that car over there? I did that. I made a time machine. And it's definitely, if my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit. I just love that line so much.
That's a good one.
The way he delivers it.
The way he delivers it. It's like Christopher Lloyd just did everything amazing. And for those of you who think, well, can Christopher Lloyd play a villain? What movie am I thinking? What movie am I thinking about?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The Judge.
It's funny because I was actually watching Clue on Tuesday night. He's just so damn funny.
Yeah.
I love that man. I really, really do.
Speaking of Christopher Lloyd, my 4th pick also comes from him. And it's just, again, the way he delivers it. And it's something that, it's one of those lines that's so fast. And I don't know why, but it just stuck with me. It's, no, this sucker's electrical, but I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity I need. Every time.
I love that you can deliver it, though, because I can't do that. Go, Anthony.
Wait. Let's put it on the spot. Can you do it again?
No, this sucker's electrical, but I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity I need.
God damn.
Thank you.
That was impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. I don't know why. Like anything that's like lyrically weird. So like if you Eminem, like I can probably spit off a bunch of his songs. Like I have an obscenely weird memory. Like I can think of shit and like if I see it once, I can remember it. So like if you give me the address to your place when we met here for the first time, I needed the address to get here. Haven't had to use it since. And like that's true with anywhere I go. Like even to my friends in Georgia. I had the address once, and from then I was like, no, I know where I'm going. I just based off landmarks. It's weird. But
All right.
it's a weird memory, but it gets me where I need to go. So
Hey.
And here we go. Speaking of going places, to number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
My number 3 pick. It's your cousin, Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this. I love that line, and I just love the incorporation of rock and roll history in this movie because, well, you guys know I'm a rock and roll history buff. I mean, Eugene and I both worked at Hard Rock Cafe for so many years, giving tours of the memorabilia. And not only is, like, that one of my little favorite things, you know, musically, but last year, I actually got to meet the great nephew of Chuck Berry. And it was just such an honor to meet him, and he was showing me family photos and all kinds of cool stuff, and I put some Chuck Berry music on the TV for him. And so, of course, being the Back to the Future nerd I am, I went, okay, I have to ask you this. Do you have any relatives by the name of Marvin? He's like, no, man, when that movie came out, that was a bunch of bullshit. I'm just like, oh my God, but it's just such a great story that I can say that. Yep. So I love Marvin Berry and the Starlighters, and I love that he was calling his cousin Chuck.
So Back to the Future has disappointed the Avengers and and Chuck Berry's family?
Yes.
Damn. Yeah. Well, to me, again, going with Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd, if you're listening to this, you should do our show, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
All the cool kids are doing it. I love the line that he says, don't worry, as long as you hit the wire with a connecting hook at precisely 88 miles per hour, the instant the lightning strikes the tower, everything will be fine.
Oh, that's another brilliant Christopher Lloyd thing, because it's like, it's all...
Let me get right to it, Doc.
It's all these complicated things. Yeah. It's like, as long as it does this at this time of this place, at the exact moment, everything will be fine.
But see, here's the thing about it. Like, imagine somebody like, and not just, you know, these are all amazing actors. Don't get me wrong. Like, for example, imagine somebody like Al Pacino or Robert De Niro or even Christopher Walken saying a line like that. They will make it sound so dramatic, you know, like, holy shit, oh my God. But the way when Christopher Lloyd does it, you're like, it's dramatic, but you're like, oh.
It's funny you say that because, like, what the scene when he's like showing Marty what they're gonna do with the model of the city, and like when it sets on fire and goes and like hits the rags, and, like, that
everyone's favorite Christopher Lloyd gif.
I love that shit so much. That shit makes me laugh every time.
It's funny, and that again, that's the genius of him, of how he delivered that character, and there's a reason why we as fans remember that character so much. So yeah.
My third one, playing off of what Caitlin said, like with the rock and roll history, mine kind of comes from just history. So mine is when he's talking with Lorraine's father after he kind of wakes up and he's trying to go find Doc in 1955, and he's trying to get directions, and he's like, hold on, wait, a block past Maple, that's John F. Kennedy Drive. And the dad shoots back with, who the hell is John F. Kennedy? I love that.
I love that so much too, for sure.
And a block past Maple, that's actually number 2.
No.
Number
2.
My number 2 pick. Silence, Earthling. My name is Darth Vader. I'm an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan. I just love that whole sequence so damn much. And it's one of those things like where my number 3 pick, it has something to do with, pop culture and history. So does that, because I always wondered, man, I wonder if like George McFly, when Star Trek hit, when he found out what a planet Vulcan was, if he ever thought anything of that. And also in 1977, when Star Wars came out. And, it's like, holy shit, somebody else must have visited Darth Vader, got a visit from Darth Vader too. So I just love that whole sequence. I love Marty in the yellow plutonium jumpsuit thingy. I'll never forget, I went to Star Wars Weekends, Star Wars Celebration in 2012, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a guy dressed up as Marty's Darth Vader. And I got a picture with him, and he actually had a Discman with the headphones, and it's me with the headphones on, like, screaming like George. Awesome. And also, I'm really excited for the Darth Vader NECA Back to the Future figure that's supposed to come out soon. So I'm definitely buying that as soon as it's available.
My number 2 actually has to go with your a continuation of your story, of your quote, actually, because my number 2 is actually from George McFly when he says, "Last night, Darth Vader came down from planet Vulcan and told me that if I didn't take Lorraine out, that he'd melt my brain."
Let's just keep that brain melting stuff to ourselves, huh?
I just love that line so much because it's like one of those things that, again, you're like, imagine just one of your buddies just telling you that. You're like, whoa. But I also love the fact because I'm a big geek for like behind the scenes drama and stuff like that, and how the movies were made and everything. It's like stories from the magic behind the magic. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting to know that from that a particular Universal big, one of those big suits.
Bigwig.
Bigwig. He didn't ever like the title from Back to the Future, and he wanted to change it to Spaceman from Pluto. You know what that was?
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? So according to
Spaceman
this,
from Pluto Part 2.
I know, right? According to this genius, he said that people were not going to be interested in seeing the movie that had the title Future. Mm-hmm, yeah, goes to know. The funny thing about it is that this proves that my theory, as always, you don't fuck with Steven Spielberg.
No, never.
You don't fuck with Steven Spielberg. And in
anything his name is on, I have to see. Yeah. Like, that's what he's built his legacy up.
Didn't you mention something about a documentary?
Yes, actually. So I kind of just was, wanting something to watch, because we're in quarantine. And one of the things that I found was an HBO documentary about Steven Spielberg, and it's just titled Spielberg. So if you have HBO, I highly recommend
it's so good. I saw it when it first came out.
It's like a 3-hour documentary about his entire film career from, before Jaws all the way to what he's done now with newer stuff like War of the Worlds and shit like that, BFG. And he basically gives you film secrets. You see him like on the set of E.T. interacting with the children. You see him on the set of Back to the Future, and he just talks in depth about all of them, including like Saving Private Ryan. And I was like, holy shit. And the funny thing is, too, he literally jumped off of the studio tour at Universal Hollywood. Basically, they did a bathroom break. And if anybody's ever done that tour, they do a bathroom break near the Western area. And he said he waited in the bathroom until he could hear a pin drop. He walked out and went into one of the offices and set up shop. And he said he was there for like a month before he was caught sneaking onto an Alfred Hitchcock set to watch him direct. And that's when he got kicked off. So now I'm like, shit, should I just like get on the studio tour and become the next biggest director? Because that's how it works. You just sneak onto the set.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
I just want to be like Spielberg. Just throw it on the back of a car. But hey, but yeah, if you have it, go see it.
It's interesting because I've always said that if I ever had a chance to, meet someone and just have a drink with them and just talk about, just
hands down Steven Spielberg.
Hands down Steven Spielberg. Yeah. But it was really interesting about Steven with the story was that, obviously Steven thought that, this is bullshit. We're not going to change the movie to this. So he actually sent a letter kind of like to the Universal guy telling him like, oh, that was so funny, when you sent this, It was, everybody got a kick out of it. And obviously the guy was really serious about it, but because Steven sent him that letter, the guy to this day has never brought it up.
Yeah. What the hell? You gonna reply all to Steven Spielberg? You gonna try to fuck with the man?
I know. What he thinks he's Shia LaBeouf.
Oh! All right. So, funny enough, my second quote continues off of you guys as well. In no way at all. So I'm actually gonna go to a different movie, number 2. And it's basically when Biff Tannen is outside looking at the almanac. He's outside of the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. And Strickland walks up and he goes, "Is that alcohol? I smell tannin." And Biff replies with, "I wouldn't know, sir. I don't know what liquor smells like because I'm too young to drink it." Because I was a fucking terror as a kid too. So like I thought it was the funniest thing. And a lot of people here are actually too young for number 1.
Oh.
One.
Number 1.
The best of the best. Go.
That's if anybody was falling asleep, just woke up.
Yeah, right. My number 1 pick. Hey, you. Get your damn hands off her.
Shit, it's like we were just talking about that.
That's your number one?
That is my number one. And
Why?
the reason that is my number one, it's just one of those definitive points in the movie. You know, George McFly finally gets his courage, and, you know, he's telling Biff to leave Lorraine alone. He finally grows a pair. But not only that, it's because this line, I don't know if anybody else knows this, was also used in a previous Zemeckis Gale film.
What?
Yes, it is true. This is a recycled line from the 1978 film, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Now, you guys know Beatlemaniac right over here. I can't remember if I saw I Want to Hold Your Hand before I saw Back to the Future, to be completely honest. And there's a scene where Mark McClure, who plays Dave McFly, he's also in I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Jimmy Olsen.
It's a similar situation where he has to go and, you know, he's a coward and he has to go and, you know, get a girl out of a bad situation. And he goes, hey, you get your damn hands off her.
He actually says that?
So I haven't seen the movie in a little bit. It's almost verbatim. There may be one or two words that are flipped around. But yeah, it's basically...
Get your damn hands off her.
It's basically the same line. So it's a recycled line from I Want to Hold Your Hand.
I think that's
I love that
interesting.
fucking
We gotta
movie.
Check that out. If any of our listeners are want to check that out too, you know?
Yes.
Comment on it, please.
It's towards the end of the film.
To me, my number one, it's just an amazing line. Again, sorry to bring it up. It's by Doc Brown, but it's just such an amazing, epic line.
Wait, who was your favorite character in the films?
Do you know the guy that with the wallet that used to took my wallet? That guy. Just the impact, the drama. Like, where's the wallet?
What's CPR?
What's CPR?
Oh my god. But I love this line that says, "Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it, so make it a good one."
Yeah.
Simple, clear, and precise. And that's...
But it's such a good quote to leave the trilogy with, too.
Yeah.
You know, that's the same line that I used to finish when I had a one-night stand. That's what I used to say.
Damn, I'm going to start hitting chicks with that.
It
Oh my
works,
God.
man. It works, because it's just...
Y'all nasty.
That's so damn funny. Why did I never think of that?
Well, you know.
Your friend in time. As I leave.
That's a good one. Your friend in time.
Oh God. Those are both solid, good ones. So, off the beaten path, here we go. So, before we do this, I'm gonna give you guys. Not only is it my favorite, but it's hands down the best line that's delivered in all three films.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you right now. And if you people listening, like, go ahead and pause this. Write down in a comment to us, like, just send it to us, what you think the best line is that I'm gonna say. We all know what your favorites are, but you guys all missed it. So here it comes. Are you ready?
I'm
Ready.
The number one pick for me and in the entire trilogy.
Oh.
Take that, you mutated son of a bitch! No one can argue. How do you forget that line? That is the best line delivered in the entire trilogy.
Oh, it's
There's
too
the
funny.
emotion behind it. There's a gun. It's got
He's
fireworks.
already mutated into human form. Shoot it!
Take that, you mutated son of a bitch! Like, it's the best. That I have to say that line. Like, it's at this point, it's fucking law. I have to say that line when that comes up. I have to.
I wish the apocalypse actually happened, because you're going to be going around in your overalls going...
Double barrel shotgun and all, man.
Nice. That was good. That was
great.
Fun.
Good quotes. You know what's really cool is that none of our quotes repeated.
No?
I know. I was really surprised. I thought maybe one of us would
I thought one of-
say like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we were all like... I mean, I definitely did not thought of the mutated thing.
Me either. It's great though. That's definitely
Coming back now, isn't it?
No, it's an honorable mention for sure. Yeah, we just want to give a shout out to all of you guys with all of your amazing comments. When we put the post out on Facebook asking for your quote suggestions, we were overwhelmed with like 200 different comments.
My notifications
Crazy.
kept just like going nuts. I was beyond myself.
Yeah, and we actually, I mean, we joke around and whatever, but we're so humble about it.
We
like,
read
really
everything.
we actually look forward to it. Like, we got fan letter.
Yeah.
It's like kids going to a Christmas tree and like, oh my god, we got a present.
Yeah, anytime that we receive a fan letter, we talk about it in the group chat and all that stuff. And we got 3 fan letters this week. So we got to give a shout out to Michael, Stacy, and Amanda. Sorry, there's just not enough time to read all of these on the show because
Yeah.
but
we read them.
It's been a hot minute, but we do read all of them. But I do have an idea. I do have an idea.
Someone's getting arrested.
Why do you guys always assume that?
Because it happens.
It happens. That's what
Yeah, you
happens.
should see my arrest sheet.
You should see mine.
So, we do love getting your fan letters, but now that we're starting to receive lots of them, if you guys think this is a cool idea, instead of writing us letters, hit that little voice memo button on your phone and send us voice memos, and maybe we'll put them at the very end of the show, and we'll have a segment where we listen to your voice memos.
Wait. Who came up with that idea?
Me.
No.
Wait, really?
That sounds something like I came up with.
Yeah, because you lost all of our footage.
Yeah, you lost all of our shit. I'm pretty sure that
I
was
didn't.
my
The
idea.
computer did.
I'm pretty sure that was my idea, and if that's the case, I think that's a good idea. What do you think, Anthony?
I love the idea because
Thank you.
like going off
You asshole.
but like going off it, like we do this podcast, like we're the 3 of us are great friends, and Brooke, we enjoy everything about
Where is she at?
I don't fucking know.
If somebody can
She's
find
lost.
Brooks, return her.
No, in all seriousness, with everything going on with COVID-19, I don't want to put Brooke's information and stuff
she's
out there.
being safe.
But she's being safe. She has a lower immunity system than the rest of us. So, we try and, get her in on these, podcasts, but technology can only go so far. And, I mean, you guys heard it, 2 episodes ago, she, lost her signal and we couldn't get her back. Yeah. So it's just been tough trying to get her to
and
get
she'll be
on
back
here.
soon, guys. As soon as she's out of jail. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We said we were going to put it out there.
As soon as she gets better, she's going to be coming here.
God damn it.
My bad.
Anyway, no, but we greatly appreciate everything you guys send in. Like the first person who reads it, we always put it out in the group chat between us to like just share it, and we read everything. And it's like Eugene was saying, it's very humbling because we did this just to hang out with each other and to just like start talking and everything. And now it's become more of, we do it for you to kind of escape the horrible realities that are outside of our own, doors. And just for 45 minutes to an hour, put this on and just laugh with us. And that's what we're here for.
But you know what that means, right?
What?
Michael, Stacy, and Amanda, you guys will earn the privilege.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The amazing, the outstanding,
All the best friends.
the What the Flux best friend
I'm going to
stamp.
pause you. How come the What the Flux best friend goes to someone who just pleases you every week?
What's wrong with that? Tell me, Mr. Ed, what's wrong with that? That's how it works.
We're going to get, somebody's going to deliver him food on Uber Eats
You
later
know
today.
what?
You have just gotten, the
Yeah,
tip.
you are my best friend.
You are the What the Flux best friend.
I'm actually going to do something fun. I'm going to do 2 things fun. You know what, folks? I'm outraged. I have something to say because I'm going to make...
Do tell.
I'm going to make the What the Flux best friend badge, and we're going to post it.
I love it. No,
We're gonna
I think
post
that's
it.
a good idea when stuff gets back to normal. And
can't
we
wait.
can,
Who came up with that idea?
That's a Eugene idea. But I came up with the voice memo idea.
Bullshit. But yeah,
I showed up today.
But I'm gonna make the What the Flux best friend badge. I can't even talk now because I'm laughing. I'm gonna make the What the Flux best friend, and I'm gonna send it to you guys because you know what?
Yeah.
That's what should say on it.
Yeah.
UI.
But the other thing I want to talk about and get off my chest.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Double jail time.
So I was talking to one of my buddies. He's a fan of our show. He's like, I guess he feels bad for me or something. He's like, I'm gonna listen to this shit.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. And he was like, do a lot of talk about that Leah Thompson.
Because she's a
writing thing.
fox.
Dude, she's hot.
My God.
I'm sorry. I'm well respect.
She was my first celebrity crush, and she is still a celebrity crush.
I don't think I realized it but she must have been my first celebrity crush because every time I've seen her in person, I've met her twice.
I melt.
I turn into fucking jello.
I can't talk.
I go like, I'm like, and I'll never forget the first time I met her was at Tampa Bay Comic-Con in 2015. And that whole night before, I legit could not sleep. Mm-hmm. I was so anxious. My heart was pounding out of my chest. And she was just so incredible. It was like 2 weeks after Ange and I got married. And we, we're just planning on getting an autograph from her, not a photo, because we got our picture taken with Carrie Fisher. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And so we're in line waiting for her to, for our autograph. And we had her sign it as Caitlin and Angela. It's written all over your underwear. And so nice. She, of course, was like, you want me to make it out to the both of you? And we're like, yeah, when you're in a same-sex relationship, you get this all the time. It's like, wait, the two of you? It's like, yes, we're together. We actually just got married 2 weeks ago. And her face lit up. And she was like just so happy for us because gay marriage had just been legalized in 2015. We were one of the first.
I remember that.
I think we're one of the first 100 couples to get married here in this city.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so after that interaction, we were like, oh my God, we have to go and get a photo op with her because I want to remember this for the rest of my life. And so Ange and I come around the corner of, the little photo curtain and Leah sees us and she goes, my girls! And she just opens her arms for a hug and I died. And I just love her so much.
See, my interaction with her was a little bit different. The first time I met her was last year at MegaCon when we did the whole group thing.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we did the panel. We were front row for that. And then we got taken to a separate room where they did a private signing for all of us, which was fantastic. And I'm making the rounds, and, of course, I get to Leah's table. And she's like, oh, would you like me to put your name on it? I know some people don't like that. I was like, this isn't going anywhere. Please, you can put my name on whatever you want. And she looked at me in the eyes and goes, all right, what's your name? And I was like, fuck. I wasn't ready for the trick question. I didn't know what to do. And Anthony. My Anthony name is Hi. It was the greatest moment. And Leah Thompson will always be a goddess.
To me, it was a little more it's so funny because I remember at the same time in Americon, when they were all signing and stuff, and I go, you got your swag, you're walking around, I got this shit. And you're walking, and she looks at me and she goes, well, hello, sweetie. How are you? And right there, I was like, ooh.
Hi.
I literally said, whoa, hi.
This should just be the Leah Thompson hour.
Oh man.
And I was like, well, there goes my game. But we were talking together, and he's like, I heard your show, and we heard this thing that you're going to write down all hail Leah Thompson on your body if she does your show. Like, hell yeah. And it's like, you're really going to do that? Like, yeah, I will do that. I will seriously, write it down, and I will.
See, you're just going to write it down in Sharpie.
Yeah, I'm gonna up you.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to up you. Can you record this so we have it?
Okay, hold on. I'm getting my video camera on.
And we'll put this up so people can see it. As great as your idea is to go ahead and write all hail Leah Thompson on your body, I'm going to up that right now. Leah Thompson, if you are gracious enough to allow us whatever time you can make available to do this show.
Yeah, hi, by the way, we're What the Flux, the podcast.
You pick the time. You tell us when works for you. We will make it work if you're gracious enough. If you're able to do this, I will get either all hail Leah Thompson, or if you can send me your autograph, I will put that on my body permanently.
See, I would like her to come in person when all of this is over, and she should sign your leg.
Oh my God. Yeah. I will get it tattooed if you do this show. Hands down. I'll do it right on my ankle.
All right, so I'm going to write down my whole body, because here's the thing. I'm going to be writing a letter each show until she actually calls. Yeah, so next week, I'm going to literally start writing the H. And I'm going to keep it there Until she
Well,
answers.
you're doing all Hail Leah Thompson, right?
Well, I'm gonna start putting all the letters.
Right, so you have to do A for all,
Yeah.
No, yeah.
not H.
He's
Well-
learning to spell, Leah. Sorry.
I don't know what to say.
But no, if you do this, I will get it tattooed on my ankle. Your autograph will be tattooed on me forever because you are that great, and I have no problem doing
I'm
it.
too much of a wimp.
I'll do it.
What are you gonna do? Nothing?
What would mine be? What would to get Leah on the show?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's for
Figure-
you to
better
figure
figure it out.
We'll figure that out and get back to you.
Am I gonna really have to get a tattoo?
No, I'll do a
I'm not
tattoo.
doing a tattoo. I'm doing a
I'll
Sharpie.
take one for the team.
Yeah, I'm doing the Sharpie. You should, but you gotta still figure it out.
All right, we'll figure something out.
We'll get back to you.
Bye.
Bye, Leah. All right, so we literally just took a video, and we're gonna put that up online.
Instagram, Twitter. We need you guys to share the shit out of it. Tag her.
Hashtag all hail Leah
Yeah.
Thompson.
We need to get this to her.
No,
and I'm serious.
You're gonna say, "Oh,
Guys.
hail Leah Thompson."
Guys, I'm not joking.
My new mantra.
I'm not joking. I will get it
Oh, I know
tattooed.
you will. This man, ladies and gentlemen, he can go local.
Yeah, I gotta.
If I wasn't, so nervous about it,
I mean,
I would totally do it too, because I wouldn't object to
I-
having Leah Thompson on me forever and ever.
I already have so many. I have a Back to the Future tattoo. I have a Jurassic Park, a Bill and Ted, all sorts of tattoos.
You know,
So
you know
Leah
which
Thompson.
tattoo you're missing?
Leah Thompson tattoo.
No,
What?
the other guy.
Which other guy? Oh!
Oh my God. Okay, your next tattoo, you have to get a portrait of Mr. Peabody.
With the quote.
No, because I do wrestling as well. So on the bottom of my foot, as I go to kick someone, I'm gonna have take that, you take some bitch.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Wait, no, but it has to have a little pine tree next to it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh
Okay.
my God, that's genius.
Okay. We're just going through what I want to do for tattoos now. What do we got? What we got?
What we got is we gotta go.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we gotta go because right now there's a fire next door, and the firefighters go, "Who can come save us?" Oh, what the Flux? So we gotta go save some people from a burning
let's
fire.
Oh shit, all
Yeah,
right.
All right,
gotta
guys. Well,
go.
you heard him. We gotta go. So whether it be the future or the past, you take that, you mutated son of a bitch. We'll see you next time.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to What the Flux. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WhatTheFlux_pod. Please subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts and give us a 5-star rating. And be sure to recommend us to your other time-traveling friends.
Hasta la bye-bye.